light, and this entity, the dark entity that jumped in me, was forced out. And I saw the entity, and it looked at the Creator, and then looked at me. And the Creator, I heard the entity, the dark entity, say to the Creator, something. I don't remember what, but I know he said something. It was like in a language that I didn't understand. But then the Creator, he said in a language that I could understand, "You have brought forth your own downfall. Your end will be nearer than you think, because you attacked my chosen one." And then the dark entity left in fear. And then the white light dissipated. At the same time it dissipated, the refrigerator door opened, and there was my dad. And as soon as my dad saw me, he proceeded to cry, and grabbed me, pulled me out, and I guess at the moment that white light dissipated, I was alive again. I think that I died because the entity killed me, or maybe I suffocated. I don't know, but things happened that I was dead and now I'm alive, and strangely enough, well, afterwards, my parents had told me that they heard me screaming. But these old style refrigerators are practically soundproof. So, but they claim that they heard me as clear as day, screaming to get out. But they couldn't hear me screaming. But they heard me screaming, which tells me that Rachel, the entity that lived with us, somehow projected my voice to save me to my parents. And then it's as if Rachel was there in the house to protect me, to save me, like she was placed there. But it seemed that she was bound to the house because she was there years later after I had already moved out and my uncle had moved in. It's like she was there to guard the house, like it was some sort of spiritual site, like a doorway into this world. And she was a guardian of that doorway. I don't know, but it was just strange. Well, needless to say, I found out that my mother had taken all the food out of the refrigerator. There wasn't green apples. There wasn't a bag of green apples in the refrigerator. There was nothing in there at all. But yet I saw one, which tells me that the dark entity had placed that particular thing in there as a means to allure me closer to entrapping me. And, well, I don't know what else to tell you, but because of that incident, my mind had basically fragmented into many personalities, and I couldn't help but wonder, was it the dark entity that caused my mind to fragment while he was inside of me? Or was it a natural reaction to the event? But my mind fragmented into several different personalities afterwards. But it wasn't the common multiple personality disorder. In a normal multiple personality disorder, the personalities are designed for protecting the core personality from specific information. Keep them from finding it out until they're ready to accept it. My personalities that I developed, their main goal was to take over completely, subdue the core personality permanently, and take control. Well, I guess that's where part of my fear stems from, because after that event I had nightmares every night until I was 16. And those nightmares consisted of me transforming into a monster and killing people and destroying lives. And that's my greatest fear. Transforming into darkness. A living nightmare, basically, to the world. That's my fear. But instead of letting the fear consume me, I used it to fuel me in developing a means to try to stay pure good and be filled with light and peace, rather than becoming consumed by the darkness. I use that fear as a fuel. Now, I know that I have a long ways to go before I can be part of the awakening. A very long ways. Because that darkness is still inside of me. And if you know of a means to wipe it out inside of me, by all means tell me. Because I do know of one means. However, if I do it, not only would it wipe out the darkness within me, but it would wipe out the darkness within the world. However, there is a side effect. I would cease to exist. I would die. Because it would take my entire life force away from me. My spirit would be severed from my body. In order to accomplish the goal. Because I don't have the energy to hold on to this world. Because the darkness is inside of me, I don't have the means of holding on. I need to get rid of the darkness inside of me before I can rid the darkness of the world. And so far, the best I can do is manage to subdue it and push it down until basically hold it back and hold it down. That's the best I can achieve. That's why I don't want to do the other thing, because it would kill me. And this is the same method I told you about before, where you create basically a spiritual nuclear bomb that wipes out darkness. Well, it will wipe out the darkness within me too, and that would sever my spirit from my body. And I don't have the means of, I don't have the energy necessary to stay in this world. I don't have the energy of light necessary to stay in this world yet, to prevent the severing. I don't have the energy to prevent that severing yet. I know the only way to do that is to basically rid myself of the darkness first in me. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this personal account that I have told you from my childhood, and I hope that this helps you in your journey, and I hope that you may be able to help me also.